I'd like to talk to you about corporate comedy. Well, what is it? Corporate comedy is a private event with no admission charge where everybody is there for some specific reason, so they all have one thing in common. And the nature of a corporate event could be so many different things. It could be a new product line or a new advertising campaign, or it could be to add a stretch and a relief and a break between long business sessions, or it could be an awards banquet, or it could be a celebration of a goal reached in your company. There are many, many kinds of corporate events, and so it takes a little dedication to finding the right comic. Now, why would you have a comic at your event? I believe that if you have decided you want a comic to be at your event, you have a very good reason for doing so, because comedians are expensive. So unless you felt it was going to add a great deal, you wouldn't do it. But you're right. The talents of a comic are many. They have lateral talents in that many are writers as well as stand-ups and actors and improv players, and some do characters. I mean, there's a wide group of people out there who can help you improve your event, improve your celebration, make everybody happy, make everybody laugh. So, let's talk a little bit more about that wide group. Almost always at a corporate event, you want a comedian who will not offend anybody, who will say the right things in the right way and be polite and responsive. The rare exception to this is a roast, where you are not necessarily saying polite things. Now, again, rare exception. Most corporate comedians have never said an incorrect word in their life, or at least never at a corporate event. And kinds of comedians, well, let's zero in just a bit. Let's see. If it was an awards banquet, you might want somebody who was a really marvelous MC. Or let's say it was gay rights, you might want a gay lesbian, or a comic who can golf for your sports outing, or a regional comic, because almost all of your clients, almost all your audience will be from a specific place or are in a specific place, and you want comedy tailored. It can be tailored, but you generally need the right comic to tailor the right material for the right crowd. So let's say vast amount of diversity available for you. Now, sometimes in corporate comedy, what you want is a star name, because you want the flash. You want everyone to know who it is immediately. You want everyone to know that you're classy and you can afford it, and you present the very best. However, we all know that the very best can be very expensive, so let me just add that warning. Also, these very expensive comedians, sometimes one-name comedians, have limited availability because they're very busy. They also don't need the money, and it can be difficult getting the exact date you want, or the exact person you want, or the exact budget you want. It's not as easy as it looks. There are also comics of varying degrees of fame that are less expensive. You may have to say, oh, I know him, I've seen him, or like that. There is also a group of comics who aren't famous, and so they're less expensive, but they're not lesser comics. Many of them have been doing stand-up for 10, 20, even 30 years, and they've made their living that way. So they've been on stage multiple thousands of times, and they can do a great job, and they don't cost as much. So there is that long list. Let me also say that I love doing searches and finding new comics for you, or finding a specific comic for you. It always teaches me something, and I always get a new client, so it's a win-win-win. So I can't begin to tell you everything about corporate comedy right now, but if you have questions, please call. I'd love to help, and anything I can do. Thank you.